Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Thor Love and Thunder came out on Thursday here in the UK. And if you want to see my spoiler-free review, it's up on the channel right now. Needless to say, wasn't particularly impressed with the film at all. With some good performances by the actors, because it's got a stellar cast of people. Unfortunately, Taika Waititi's pathetic, puerile humor ruined it. Just absolutely ruined the film. It just was completely disjointed, all over the place. The plot, whatever. But it's Marvel movie. It's Chris Hemsworth. He got his ass out. Ladies are going to flock to the cinema to see this dude. They're going to drag the boyfriends along with them. Okay, we're okay with that. And it's going to do well at the box office. I don't think it's going to do as well as Doctor Strange, which, after an absolutely phenomenal opening weekend, word of mouth got round exactly what the film was like, and it wasn't particularly good. So suddenly there was a huge drop-off, and if I just jump into some stats here for you, 187 million for the domestic weekend, which made it look like, particularly with the international, that this film was easily going to hit $1 billion. However, after the 45 days, or 63 days in this case, it has still failed to hit that mark. There is, as you can see from the prediction curve here, a massive drop-off in what, and look at the bracket of that prediction, they thought it would do. It fell well short. Let's just take another film at the box office. 42 days. Top Gun Maverick has been there, and it's taken $1.126 billion. Now, some of you might say, well, you know, it's only a 100 million more or so than Doctor Strange. In a world where we can quibble over 100 million, okay, sure. But Top Gun Maverick is a sequel to a movie that came out, 35 years ago. It wasn't particularly supported with a massive franchise. Certainly people are aware of Tom Cruise and I would say he's the last movie star, legitimate movie star around. But Marvel, Disney, this branded franchise, which is just a juggernaut. What film is Doctor Strange? What film number is Thor? 26, 27, maybe more in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. That should have absolutely destroyed something like Top Gun. But Top Gun Maverick was a good film that didn't inject any identity politics. It was just there to entertain you. It had a relatively simple plot, but one that you could get behind. Good cast, excellent cast again. Miles Teller putting in good performance. Tom Cruise putting in good performance. Jennifer Connelly as the love interest. Should she go there? Should she not go there? Again, great performances. So you could see why the film would be appealing to the masses. The MCU, there's absolutely no doubt about it whatsoever, had slipped down an intersectional pathway. And that is going to piss a lot of people off because they're not interested in intersectionality in their entertainment. They're interested in entertainment in their entertainment. It's a novel concept. Maybe one day it might just catch on. So the opening day, it's managed to do 29 million at the box office, 48 internationally, bringing it to 77 million worldwide. So if we just scoop there. Now, comparative to Doctor Strange opened up with a 36 million. So Thor Love and Thunder is already 20% behind that. Now, you might think that's not huge amounts. Well, it's only, you know, a few million here or there, but it's the percentage that's the problem. 20%, that's a fifth. That's quite substantive. Now, the prediction for the weekend's box office domestically with Thor Love and Thunder is around about 155 million. Doctor Strange did 187 million. And the reason why I'm using Doctor Strange as the example is not because it was the previous Marvel movie, and I don't want to get back into that video again, but it's because Doctor Strange went out like a bullet from a gun. And it looked like it was going to smash $1 billion. And if it could have slowed down drastically due to the fact that, you know, people didn't want to see this again. It was not a good film. And with Thor Love and Thunder not being a good film, I can see there being a substantive drop-off in week 2 with this. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how that compares. But if it does do the predictive 155 million at the box office this weekend, then how does that compare to Doctor Strange? Well, it's approximately 18% down on what Doctor Strange is. The critics' response to this movie hasn't been particularly good. Even their beloved Rotten Tomatoes, and we like to use Rotten Tomatoes from time to time, of course, because this is the benchmark that critics love to point to. If the critic score's high and the audience score is low, then of course it's being review bombed. If it's vice versa, of course, then, you know, nobody says anything. If the critic scores are low and the audience scores are high, then it stays very quiet in that regard. But you can't even trust what the audience scores are on Rotten Tomatoes anymore. They tend to freeze very quickly once they have a number. But the critics' Rotten Tomato score was 68% at the beginning of the day. Now, that's pretty crazy for a Marvel movie, considering how much favor they try to curry with these major studios, particularly Disney, which has such a scope with the Star Wars franchise and, of course, the MCU. So if the projection of the critics' scores is correct and people kind of drop off from seeing this film, how soon will it fall in terms of numbers? And what do you think it will end on by the time it gets pulled out of the box office? Now, I think Doctor Strange got pulled out of the box office after that 45 days, went on to Disney Plus. So that's where it is now. So if you do have a Disney Plus subscription, of course, you can just go watch that movie for free. I think Thor Love and Thunder is going to be pretty much the same. I think after 45 days, it's going to be removed from the cinemas as well. I don't think it's going to do better than Doctor Strange. I don't think it's going to hit $1 billion. And I would personally predict it doing around 800 to 850 tops. Maybe 750 to 850 tops. And even though that's good in terms of, yeah, that's going to make money. The budget of Thor, about 200 million again. To make money, it's got to probably do about 450 plus after all the advertising, etc., etc. So, yeah, I think it's going to make $200-300 million profit on this. But again, it's showing, as strange as it sounds, it is showing a decline in interest. These movies, if you look at Spider-Man No Way Home, hitting 1.9 billion at the box office. And why did it do 1.9 billion? Is it just because it's a Spider-Man movie? No, I wouldn't say so. And the reason why I wouldn't say so is because Batman only did 700 and something million at the cinema, and that's Batman. So brand name alone isn't enough to secure that 1 billion box office. No, there's got to be something more to it. And with Spider-Man No Way Home, it was the way that they treated the legacy characters of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They handled them in a very careful and good manner that was respectful to the people that loved those franchises 20-odd years ago, 10-odd years ago, and the people, of course, who were big supportive of the Tom Holland Spider-Man as well. There wasn't intersectionality really in there. Some people could argue the Aunt May taking over the role of Uncle Ben, and I get that and I understand that. But it was certainly on a minuscule level in comparison to things like Thor Love and Thunder. Thor Love and Thunder, which is being, by the way, marketed by the Thor crew as the gayest Marvel movie yet. Wonderful. I'm sure the 3% of people that's going to appeal to are absolutely thrilled, and it's not. Of course, this is another manipulative tactic from Disney to try and virtue signal, to try and show how progressive they are. But no, the film isn't particularly. There's a kiss on the hand of a woman to a woman, big bloody deal. No, this is a film which is wrapped up in Taika Waititi's pathetic humor, and it doesn't allow the stories, which could have been very interesting, to sit in the slightest. But there we go. So it's up to the public now. We're going to see Sunday night, tomorrow night, what the weekend box office is going to be. We're going to see if it hits that predictive value of 155 million. It might do more, might do less. But then again, we shall see, more importantly, the second week off and that first week's reaction from the public and how they actually respond to this film, which, as I've said, I think is exceedingly subpar. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.